Folks, what's going on? YouTubers, I'm back from hiatus. I was gone for a few weeks, did a lot of soul searching, a lot of different things has been approached to me. And I just want to say I'm very grateful for these opportunities. So there's a lot of things that's going on for 2023 that I'm making transition on. And really, I think it's going to be great. I think there's a lot of good things. I got another studio that's approached me to host a podcast, and it's about real estate here in Las Vegas. And I think that's going to be another branch of what I already do beyond the Propyland French Workbench podcast, which airs tonight at 5:30 to 6:30, our new time. Also on Saturdays at 12. So make sure you're aware of that. Sound off. Start hitting that up again. We got a lot of good content coming out for all these topics, right? I want to bring on people, challenge people, figure out what their thoughts are on a lot of these things. Now, if you guys didn't know, I am a real estate agent out here in the beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And I want you guys to take a look. This is my channel right here. This is Dan French Connection. Check me out here, right? You can come here. You can look at all my information, all my content. You can figure out everything about how to get started on buying a house. Also, here's a link to all my YouTube channels. And this will be here's the latest episode. So if you guys missed an episode and you guys are fans out there, which I hope you are, check me out there. You can also see here on the last one. So I want to get back into this. So today we have a really nice, some content, some good information. It's a nice topic I want to talk about. It's about legal aid addresses evictions in the rental market as it's winding down. So we all know what went on with COVID, right? COVID was a big problem with people getting laid off, furlough, potentially losing their place of rent. And so what did the city of Las Vegas, state of Nevada do? Well, they came in, offered the chat program, right? CARES Act, chat program. And what did that do? Is it prevented people from being evicted, or maybe they helped them relocate with money. There was $375 million allocated to that, which helped over 70,000 households. And so this is a big deal. Now, a lot of people are worried, right? I get it. This is uncharted waters as far as I feel like for inflation and cost of living, at least in the last 10 years. I'm not going to say since at all time, but this is challenging times. These are times that we haven't seen or witnessed or been a part of in a pretty long time, right? So there's a lot of things happening where people are worried. They can't pay their bills because of the higher cost of living. I think eggs are up like 16%. So you got to think, a lot of people have speculation, they have worry, and you just don't want to be in that place. Now, this is going to end on the 23rd of January. And so there's a lot of people that are going to be pushed out, potentially not being able to use this program anymore to help them with whatever their situation is. Now, I do have empathy for families, right? I have empathy and say, you know what? We don't know what you guys went through, but I also have empathy for landlords. You got to think that landlords potentially are risking not getting paid or not being able to pay that rent or mortgage or whatever it is. Now, if they paid their house off, hey, that's still their money, right? Maybe they've taken money and they've allocated a ton of money to buy a house, maybe with very low mortgage, or maybe it's just paid off altogether. Regardless if they have a payment or not, or if it's a low payment, they've also had to put money into something to get that return. So I think it did its course. I think it's good. I think it was helpful. I do feel like it's been prolonged a bit, that they kept extending. I also know that we have a very low unemployment number. Now, the inflation numbers and the employment hourly wage, if you're saying you're an hourly employee or just the average median wage here in Las Vegas, does not support or cannot support when you have 20%, 30% increase in rents, inflation going crazy, and all these things happening. So when you look at this and you're saying, well, with these families and with what's going on and all the help that they've received, I think at some point, you have to just pull the Band-Aid off, right? You can't just keep relying on a system or a program to help these families. That doesn't mean that they didn't need it. It's just we're 3 years later, people, right? My opinion is I have empathy, but my empathy is out the window. If you have unemployment, an up or down, as far as it is now, and we have a very low unemployment number and there's jobs out there, you go on Indeed. You go to these places, there's opportunities. It's unfortunate you might have to work 2 jobs. It's good to have a household income of maybe 2 sources of income. Maybe you have some other, you pivoted and made some other investments, or you did something, smart and invested in a different area. I don't know, whatever it is, maybe a business. Those people that are pivoting and trying to adjust to the market are going to survive. Now, the ones that aren't are the ones that are just going to stay put, and maybe you can't work those jobs, but I just feel realtors, lenders, it's not sexy to be a realtor or lender right now. It's trying times. I hear a lot of people jumping out of the market, going to doing other jobs, contracting, starting that business, and they may not come back to real estate altogether. It's tough when you have the water shut off from any business. Let's just not even say real estate, lending, whatever. Any business with the water shut off, you better hope you have some other ways of income. And that's the real reality here, is that you either have to work multiple jobs, or hopefully you had enough capital where you repositioned and pivoted to a different direction. So it's very trying times right now. That's going to end. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with the eviction process. Like I said, Assembly Bill 486 really helped out the tenants, right? It paused that eviction process, and who knows? Who knows if that's going to continue? I do know that the chat program is going to end, and people are probably going to have to be really worried about where they're going to be if they haven't made those adjustments. Hopefully, you've had 3 years to make those adjustments or figure out what you need to do, right? We understand people were unemployed, but you still have to take ownership. And I think self-leadership, ownership is going to be a big deal going on further. You have inflation, high numbers. We talk about it. I think everybody talks about it. So it's really going to be interesting to how people make adjustments, not just in all of those sectors, real estate, lending, every sector, right? Every area. Because if this eviction starts to go away, we're going to see a spike in evictions going on, and it's not going to look pretty. If you guys have any questions, check me out tonight, 5:30 to 6:30 on my on the podcast I do. It's the French Workbench podcast. The Sound Off, I'm going to start posting on that again. And I want to say, everybody out there, whoever's subscribed and given me love, thank you for your support. I really thank you from my heart. Continue to watch my channel. I'm really going to keep pushing it. I got other great things happening with other studios and other things going on this year. We'll see you guys at the next one. I'm out of here.